As a flight deck firefighter, he responded to crash landings and deck fires. As an entrepreneur, he launched his own landscaping and tourism companies. As a project specialist with FEMA, he helps people through some of the toughest times of their lives. A Navy veteran, a business entrepreneur, and FEMA professional, he thrives in pressure-packed situations. He's kind of a cool surfer dude, too. He's going to take on one more challenge today, and I think he'll meet that head-on, that of the Grantham student speaker. I'm pleased to present a Grantham alumnus, Navy veteran, Mr. Jeremiah Woznick.
Good afternoon. When we strive for greatness, we are confronted with challenges great and small. During hardships and challenging times, we are shaped into the people that we are today. Those challenges give us the characteristics that become our strong points of who we are. Like a sword is forged from hot metal, we must be put under extreme conditions in order to be shaped and formed. July 25th, 2010, 6:30 a.m. I was standing on my stand-up paddle surfboard looking towards the Ka'ivi Channel, which in Hawaiian means the Channel of Bones, just 10 foot offshore from the Hawaiian island of Molokai. Regarded as one of the world's most treacherous channels, the Ka'ivi Channel is home to a 32-mile race from the island of Molokai to the island of Oahu. I was amongst over 200 other competitors, all waiting for the signal to start the race. My escort boat and teammate were waiting for me 400 yards off the coast. As soon as the horn blew, we all started paddling as fast as we could towards the island of Oahu. Almost instantaneously, I felt the wind and ocean currents trying to knock me off my board and blow me off course. Trying to navigate between the swells and other competitors was difficult, but having them there helped me find my line and angle that I would be pursuing to get to the other island. Half an hour in, I was now 10 foot plus open ocean currents trying to maintain that course. When the waves would pick me up, I would be looking down at my escort boat in the trough below me, and when the wave would pass, it would completely disappear. My partner and I would take turns paddling, and while I rested in the boat for my next round, I would try and hydrate and get some amount of fuel to re-energize my tired body. As we made our way to the middle of the channel, which by now was 2,300 feet deep, I remember seeing so many beautiful flying fish flying alongside me as I paddled and persevered through the soreness and exhaustion of the paddle. Some of the flying fish were up to 2 feet in length, and some were only a couple of inches, but they were motivating me to keep going, almost like they were on my team, helping to guide me along the way. I remember every time I wanted to give up or I felt like I couldn't make it, I would get extremely tired, and it would become more difficult for me to paddle. When I thought positive and told myself I could do it, the paddling would actually become easier. If I looked at the island I was paddling to, which by the way still looked the same distance away from when I started, I would become overwhelmed and I'd get off balance. Focusing on the little distance just ahead of me, and by focusing on just one stroke at a time, allowed me to continue much easier. By the time we were a third of the way finished, I remember the wind swell had picked up, causing us to be blown off course and forcing us to paddle even harder into the wind and wave chop. Otherwise, we would have completely missed the island and be blown out to sea. The last 2-mile stretch was the hardest, since the wind was now blowing directly in my face and would certainly blow me backward had I stopped paddling. But once I crossed the finish line, I remember how elated I was that I had completed this distinguished race, and having my friends there to greet me was something I will never forget. We had heard on the boat's radio that a record number of people had dropped out of the race because of the extreme weather conditions. After the race, I thought for sure I would go to sleep early, but the channel crossing had kicked in my endorphins, and I was on what some might call a runner's high. Looking back on the race, I can compare it a lot like my time gaining my education. Looking at my goal from the starting point and seeing what looked like such a huge challenge and thinking, I know this goal is attainable, but it looks so difficult. The boat escorting me was Grantham University, helping me across my quest. My partner in the boat was the amazing faculty we are so blessed to have facilitating our learning environment. The other racers were like other students trying to complete the same goal. We all took different paths and had individual challenges during our crossing, but hopefully we all made it to the finish line. Some contestants may be having to opt out of the race because of conditions and hopefully retrying again next year. The flying fish cruising alongside me reminded me of the other students in my class and my student advisors who were there for me along the way, enriching my educational journey. That last stretch of the finish line can most definitely be the most challenging, but so rewarding once that goal is obtained. The energy that I felt after the race is the confidence that I used and experience that I received to apply for the job which I currently have. Thinking about how much easier it was to just focus on the current leg of the race I was on, and thinking about just focusing on one paddle at a time helped me to handle my situation and strive for the finish line. Each and every single one of you has your own unique special story. What it took for you to be sitting here today in front of your peers and accept this honor from our amazing university. Each one of you has overcome those unique challenges and has persevered. And I am honored to represent you all today and want you to know how important what you have achieved is to you, your family, and everyone who you have contact with personally and professionally. Use the energy from today and apply it in everything that you do. Use it to better yourself and others. Please help out one another in your life. Try and enrich others. No one said it only had to be one good deed a day. Make it many. Give without expecting anything in return, and you will truly be blessed. Committing yourself fully to even the little things in life will give you the opportunity to grow into even someone better. Just think about how positively we have been impacted by Grantham University. Think about what we as a collective can do to positively impact so many people as we continue our journeys. When I think back on the people who helped me along my journey, I focus on 3 amazing women in my life who made this journey possible. One of those women is my amazing, ever-loving grandmother, Olive, who gave me confidence and the support I needed. My mother, Suzanne, helped motivate me and give me the tenacity to pursue my lifelong educational goals. And my best friend, confidant, and life companion, Iris, who was the one that gave me the capacity to persevere and encouraged me to start the pursuit of my higher education. Without these 3 amazing, strong women, I could not be up here today. I was fortunate to be able to be surrounded by these life changers. Try and find people in your life that are on your team and can help you along the way. Be that person in somebody else's life who needs that guiding light. Do not second guess yourself. Commit yourself fully to your dreams, desires, and goals that are placed in your heart. I fulfilled a lifelong dream when I surfed waves so big, the Coast Guard told me their buoy system reported 100-foot waves. I guess I hang out with the wrong crowd, right? This is something that I had mentally and physically trained for all my life, but I always knew that one day, that day would come. You have prepared yourself for your goals. Continue to keep that frame of mind in everything that you do, so when your big day comes, you will be ready, which you have prepared yourself for. When I was a crash and salvage flight deck fire in the Navy, we trained so much that when an actual incident would happen, it would become second nature to us. We could handle a fire or a dangerous situation with confidence and calmness. The educational preparation you gave to yourself will help propel you into your next successful adventure. Have the mind of a student for the rest of your life. Never stop learning. Never stop growing, focusing into the person that you are supposed to be. And in closing, when you look back on your journey, remember those challenging times. Remember those hardships. Think about what it took to overcome that. Think about the success that you achieved. Use that as an example to yourself to remind you when you look ahead and see those challenges that seem too big. Remember, just focus on one paddle at a time. I did it, you did it, and we did it together. Aloha and mahalo.
Jeremiah, thank you very much. That was absolutely fantastic. Let's see, what do we have? An appreciation of Jeremiah Woznick, student speaker, 2016 commencement ceremony, August 6, 2016. Wow. Thank you. But wait, there's more. There's a tradition in the military, it's known as coining. And for those of you that don't know what it's about, legend would have it that it dates back to World War I. And an American flyer that was flying with a French unit shot down behind enemy lines. He was trying to make his way back to the Allied lines as the Germans were in hot pursuit when he ran across the French. The French, not exactly recognizing this new uniform to the theater, thought at first that this flyer was a spy. And as they were getting ready to perhaps do their worst and shoot the spy, he presented a medallion. And they recognized that medallion from a French flying unit, and instead of shooting him, so the story goes, rewarded him with a bottle of wine and his life. Since that time, it's been a tradition to coin those that are in your squadron, your unit, part of your team. And with respect to Grantham University, when we do this, we're saying thank you, you're a member of the family, you're part of the team. God bless.
Thank you so much. You bet.